The most dangerous manipulation does not force you to say yes. It makes you believe the decision was yours. The best tactics sound reasonable, caring, or completely truthful. Dark psychology is not a formal scientific field, but these mechanisms are documented in research on deception, compliance, and decision-making. Here are 7 tactics most people notice only after they work. For each one, you will learn the mechanism and one defense. Number 3, targets the exact moment when you finally feel safe again. Trick 1 is paltering, using true statements to create a false conclusion. Someone says, "I was at work until 7." It may be true, but it makes you assume what happened afterward. Paltering actively selects truthful facts to produce a misleading picture. Todd Rogers and his colleagues separated it from direct lying and passive omission across multiple experiments. The defense is to stop asking questions that can be technically answered. Ask for the complete timeline. What happened before, during, and after. Manipulation survives inside missing context. Trick 2 is DARVO: deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. You confront someone, they minimize what happened, attack your memory or motives, then present themselves as the victim. Suddenly, you are defending your personality instead of discussing their behavior. Research by Sarah Harsey and Jennifer Freyd found that DARVO can change how observers judge credibility. The defense is procedural. Write the original issue in one sentence and return to it. We can discuss my tone later. Right now, we are discussing what happened. Do not let evidence become a trial of your character. Trick 3 is fear, then relief. Someone creates anxiety, removes it, and immediately makes a request. A manager implies your job is at risk, then says you are safe but must cover the weekend. In 5 experiments, Darius Dolinsky and Richard Naurat found greater compliance after fear abruptly disappeared. Relief feels like safety, but your attention is still recovering. The defense is simple. Never make an important decision immediately after a threat disappears. Say, "I am relieved, but I will answer the request tomorrow." Trick 4 is disrupt-then-reframe. The manipulator briefly confuses how you evaluate something, then supplies the interpretation. Original experiments expressed a price in pennies instead of dollars, followed by, "It is a bargain." In real life, watch for unusual math, invented terms, or a flood of numbers followed by, "This is obviously your best option." The defense is translation. Rewrite the offer in plain language, convert every number into the same unit, and remove the persuasive label. If it stops looking attractive when simplified, confusion was part of the technique. Trick 5 is the lowball commitment trap. You agree under attractive conditions. After you identify as committed, hidden costs appear. The price changes, the favor grows, or the deadline moves. Experiments found that people often remain committed after the original advantage disappears. The manipulator uses your desire to appear consistent. Treat changed terms as a new decision. Say, "I agreed to the original conditions. These are different, so my previous answer no longer applies." Consistency is not integrity when the agreement has been replaced. Trick 6 is the illusory truth effect. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity can feel like evidence. In experiments by Lynn Hasher, David Goldstein, and Thomas Tapino, repeated statements were rated as more valid whether they were true or false. Manipulators repeat accusations or rumors until you stop asking where they came from. You always overreact. Everyone thinks you are difficult. The defense is source tracking. Ask where you first learned the claim and what independent evidence supports it. 7 repetitions from one person are still one source. Trick 7 is the decoy effect. You see 3 choices, but one was never meant to be selected. It exists to make the preferred choice look superior. Joel Huber, John Payne, and Christopher Pudo showed that adding an inferior option could increase selection of the option dominating it. A salesperson presents a weak plan, an overpriced plan, and the plan they want you to buy. The defense is subtraction. Remove the worst option, compare the rest with your original goal, then restore the excluded choice, choosing none of them. All 7 tactics control the frame around your decision. Paltering controls context, DARVO controls the argument, fear and relief control timing, disruption controls processing, lowballing controls commitment, repetition controls familiarity. The decoy controls available choices. Your defense is deliberate friction. Request full context, return to the original question, delay decisions after emotional shocks, simplify complexity, reset consent when terms change, verify repeated claims, and remember that no is an option. Do not learn these techniques to use them on others. Learn them to recognize when someone is quietly designing your decision. Real persuasion leaves you informed and free to disagree. Manipulation hides the information, pressure, or alternatives that would change your answer. If this helped protect your judgment, subscribe. Mind Loops breaks down psychology and human behavior without recycled, surface-level advice. Watch the next video because the easiest manipulation to stop is the one you can name.